it's Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on Etsy and YouTube and One Way Journals on Facebook. So what we've got for you today is the 7th book in or journal in the Women of the Bible series, and this one is beautiful. It's in purples and yellows. Don't be fooled by the cover because I've gone for something subdued, but when I opened it up it is just bursting full of colour. So this one is Lydia and Priscilla, and I've just really loved listening to these beautiful women in the Bible, and yeah, just an inspiration to us. So I'll give you a quick look. So what I've done here is from all the other, exactly the same in the series, so the same sort of closure, and if I lift it up you'll be able to see that there's some lace that has been laid on the top of a hem here, and then some lace here, and sort of like an embroidered look butterfly on there. And then here we go, look at this color. Whoops, got that missing. So here we go, it's Lydia and Priscilla. So as I said, it's in lots of bright purples and yellows, but it's also got some sort of embroidery pieces in here as well, so it's quite fabulous. Okay, so I just thought I'd quickly go over, because this is the 7th one in the series, and our church was doing Women of the Bible, a study series. And so if you had emailed me, if you go over onto the Facebook group, we did do a post over there, or just say, hey, I'm new, I'm looking for how to email you. You can message me over there and I could message you, email you the study notes if that's what you would like. So I thought I'd quickly go through all of them again for you. So the first one was Hagar. There we go, that one. And then the next one was Rahab. So that's had a bit of vellum on it. Oh gosh, it's gorgeous. It's been quite a marathon making all these journals. And so the next one was Ruth and Naomi. There we go. And the next one was Hannah. Really lovely pinks and blues. And the next one was Mary and Martha. So pinks and burgundies in this one. And then last time it was Mary Magdalene, so in greens and oranges. Absolutely gorgeous. It's actually bowed because I filled it so much that I just wanted to use so much of the ephemera. So you don't need to do that, but with my closure, I didn't think they were just going to get bigger and bigger, and they did. So that's why it's a little bit bowed. And of course this last one, Lydia and Priscilla, in the purples and yellows. Okay, so let me get to what's in the kit. Right, so let's take a look at the digitals, and the journal pages, as per usual, are printed on 120 GSM, so it's a little bit thicker than your normal photocopy paper. So this one here, isn't it lovely? Lydia and Priscilla. And then it's got the scripture observation application on the back. This one here, Where He Leads Me, that's a beautiful hymn. That one I haven't printed on the back because I think that's going to be my cover sheet. And then we've got the notes page, and on the reverse it's got this beautiful floral. So there's lots of floral patterns in this kit. And then we have this one, which has some study questions on it, and on the reverse the weekly planner if you're going to be using that. Then this one with a double page and that floral on the back. We've got the memory double page memory verse log, and that one, isn't that lovely, on the back. And then this one, and it says on the left hand side, say yes to the Lord whenever he asks something of you. So that one, and then that page on the back, and that one, and that full one on the back. This full print with that on the back. So I haven't printed it, it's just sort of all random order. Oh wow, I didn't realize that my ink had done that. So I'll need to reprint that page with that one on the reverse. Sorry about that black one. And then this one, this is so ornate. I love this. And that one on the back. That one could be the center of my signature. I'm not sure, maybe. And then that one, and then that one on the back. So this would also make a great backing piece as well. There is a neutral one, so I'll show you that now. So let's have a look at the ephemera. So this is printed on, I've run out of 160, so I have actually printed this on 200 GSM, so it's a bit thicker. This is the neutral background that I've printed on some of the ephemera pages. So here we've got journal cards, and then here again some more journal cards. Please ignore that. That's my printer that didn't like the thicker stock and it's done this dodgy thing, so that's going to be a reprint for me. Here we go, some more tags here, and looks like some belly bands that we can use, or we can use them down the strip side of the page, and that on the back. And then we've got some gorgeous envelopes here, little small ones, and then some tags. So these could be added onto the top of these with an eyelet, and they could be a swing tag. So have a little think about that one, and that's printed on the back. This one is to fold over folios, and then we've got handmade by, and this book belongs to, and that on the back. This one I didn't. Now the rest of them I didn't print on the back because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this one yet. If I do use any of these as a journal card, then I can always back them later. Otherwise they're fussy cuts and they can be stuck on. And then we have 3 beautiful pockets here that stack on top of each other with a big embroidered bow. Some more pockets, and then we have this, which I love having this tag because it means that I can put it into my bigger journal that I'm making, which that video, hopefully if I get it made towards the end of the week after this one, I can show you that. And then we've got some fantastic words that we can embellish with. And then we have the different words. I'm just looking at both of them. And so we have softer looking pockets there, some fussy cuts and more words. Then we have here some corner pockets, and then this is the back of a little pocket. So you'll stick that one down first and then glue this one on top, and so it's created a background for that pocket. And then the same thing applies to this one as well, so that's great. And then we've got a bunch of fussy cuts there that looks like an L for Lydia. And then we've got some more fantastic fussy cuts, embellishments, and then some words here. Be prepared for the moment. Share the good news of Jesus Christ. Amen. Seek something bigger than yourself, and God can use anyone to further his kingdom. That is so true. And then we have this fantastic page. So it has listen and obey, hospitality and humility, be prepared for the moment, well done, the good and faithful servant, share the gospel with others. So that's great. And then there is an add-on paper pack which might not have a name for it yet, but I will list it. I'll either pop it on the screen when I edit the video, or I'll put it in the description box. But this is some backing papers. So like there was the shades of pink range, and then for the last journal there was the Neroli Orange Blossom papers in orange and greens. This one's in purple and yellows. And so I haven't printed off the whole kit, but I've just done a selection. So there are some that are like a pale check and some other, other ones, but I couldn't print off everything. But I might use one of these as an inside cover of the journal. So there's these that are some beautiful florals. There we go. So they're different to what's in this kit. And then we've got these fabulous bright ones. So it's bringing in some blues in here. I love that. That's fabulous. And then we've got this one. And then this one's quite bright like that other one with the blues in it. but this one's more of the purple and the yellow. And then also this one, so this is softer, and it's got this sort of like pale check in the background, so that's fabulous. And then we've got this one as well, so it's similar to the others, but they're coming down in stripes that way. Okay, so I'm going to cut everything out and then possibly ink it, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the signature. Okay, thanks. So I've made my cover and I've used this eggplant card. It's something I've had in my stash for quite a long time, so I don't know if you can see that, but it's a beautiful eggplant colour. And I chose the hymn for the front cover, and then when I reprinted to make the flap, I just cut out the butterfly and 3D'd that on there, and then I just used, I think in America you call something called glossy accents. I haven't seen that here in Australia, and so I've just put glitter glue on the top of that, and then put the eyelets in and the elastic. I just haven't tightened that yet. If this is the first time you've seen a video like this in the Women of the Bible series, please check out Ruth and Naomi. That one has a step-by-step on how to make this cover. Okay, so I've done that, and then I chose this for the inside, and so this is one of the papers from the purple yellow kit, and the name of it is Luminously Royalty, so that's that one. Okay, and so I've also chosen my signatures, so I've gone around and inked them on the edges with a purple color, and so yeah, just chosen those. And the only paper that I chose from the other paper pack was this one, I think, inside the signatures. Okay, so I'm going to go and stitch that in, and then I'll have a fiddle with some ephemera, and then come and explain or do a flip through of what it all looks like, and if I need to explain any of the ephemera. I bought this fantastic purple cord, and so I'm hoping that's not too thick for me to put on there. I know because it's so thick I'm going to have to glue gun it, and then I'm hoping it's going to fold over the edges, so hopefully that will look good. Okay, let me go have some fun and some play, and then I'll come back to you. Unfortunately, the braiding didn't really go that well. It was thicker than the spine, and so it was a bit difficult to fold it over. With thin lace, that's not a problem. Also, when they use braiding, the cord that's underneath, a lot of the time it's white. So when I cut the edges, a lot of white was showing. I had to sort of try and ink it up on the edges and then glue them to try and get as neat as possible on the ends. I wouldn't do it again, so I wouldn't suggest that. So my mistake is a learning curve, so that's okay. I wanted to share that with you as well. Now, the only thing that I have done so far, I couldn't wait to get this done, is that Rosa has just released a video on Carolyn's YouTube channel, and it's for the automatic waterfall. So isn't that fabulous? And so all of her instructions and measurements, everything was spot on, and that was really, really easy to put together. So I really do need to go and get to the rest of the journal, fill in everything with the ephemera, and then I'll do a final flip through. But I also wanted to share with you that Carolyn has just released a bunch of freebies of ephemera to go with this kit, and I can't show you full pages of them because I've already fussy cut them and inked them, but there were 4 doilies, so 1, 2, 3 and number 4. I had a misprint on this one, and the bottom half of it didn't print properly, so fortunately the butterfly was intact. So instead of throwing out that piece, I cut out the butterfly and made that 3D on there, so that's perfect. And there were a few little bits around the top here that I just used my circle punch and punched out a couple of those, so they're going to be great for closures and things like that. Even if I don't need it for this kit, I can use them, just put it in my little stash. And then the other page of ephemera is a whole bunch of butterflies, and I'm so stoked with this because I haven't inked these, but in my collection of butterflies I really didn't have any purple ones, so she's given us some beautiful ones mixed in with yellow, and then there's this, oh, I really like this one too, with the purple and the green as well. So there's a whole stack of butterflies. I sometimes fussy cut them right on the edge and cut off the antennae, so I do that, and then occasionally I might do them where I just do a thin fussy cut and keep the antennae. So that's you know, it's much of a muchness. And then also with those is a whole bunch of insects like bees. So bees, and there's a couple of beetles. There we go. And another bee, and then a whole bunch of birds as well, and some hummingbirds in there. So we've got a whole bunch of birds to play with and to include into the kit, into the journal as well. So have fun if you're crafting along, and I am going to go and ink the fussy cuts, and I have done all the pockets and everything. I just need to go put them in the journal, and I'll come back for a flip through. I have a few things I wanted to show you before I do the flip through. So these cute little tags here are designed so that you can do a bit of a swing on the front, and so I've already attached one here and one on another page. So I just wanted to show you how to do that if you haven't seen these before. So you could use, to cut out the white in the center, a small pair of scissors, whatever your preference is, or a cutting knife. I found the cutting knife easier. And then you can use some acetate, or you could use, you know, the clear film that's on a junk envelope, or you could use a bit of lace, or you could use some very lightweight and see-through vellum. So I've got some acetate here, and I'm just going to, I've cut it down to size for the back to make sure that it fits in properly. And then what I did was I rounded the corners just to make sure that they didn't stick out. So if I show you on this, you might, if I bring it up, you might be able to see on the card where I've rounded the corners. So that's just using one of these little punches, and I use the tiniest little setting on that one. And so the best way to do is just to, I use art glitter glue, because then it's not going anywhere. And just put that down the seam, the center, not you try to get to the center so it doesn't seep out too much. And art glitter glue means it's not really going to go anywhere, it's going to stay really firm. Oops, I moved that a little bit, so I've got a bit of glue on the film, but that's okay, I can clean that off. Oops. Okay, so just glue that down there. I will clean that. Okay, and then, sorry, I've already punched a hole, but what you could do is then line this one up on the top, and then use your hole puncher to punch out a hole. And then if you want it to attach to a page, you use your eyelet like this, and then you punch a hole in your page, line it up, punch it together, and then use your eyelet to make it stay on the page. Okay, now this one, what I was thinking of doing was actually this little dangle. I just had some very fine gold thread. It's very fiddly, so you could wrap that around before you punch it. You could wrap that and just tuck it in underneath the eyelet, and you could have it there swinging on the front with the other flower, but I was actually thinking of putting it behind. And then when you put that in there, you will have that, as when that swings, you'll have that cute little flower dangle there behind it. And so you could put it somewhere on a page where you want to have like a little cute little butterfly in. If you put this on a page where there's a flower and you have a little butterfly or something, that can be you swing, and then you can see the butterfly underneath, or a bee. I need to do some smaller fussy cuts for me to be able to do that. So at the moment I haven't done anything on these, but I could possibly do that later, where I'll put like a little image in behind. So you could put it either on top of the acetate there, or you could have it on your page where you could put a little fussy cut, and then you can see that when you swing that around. So not sure where I'm going to put that in as yet. Now the other thing I did was this page here, I cut off the side of the page because I had this really wide lace, so I added that there, but it kept flopping. So what I then did was, the bit that was left over, I cut out the center, used that strip to put on the side, and I thought, okay, that might that might weigh it down a little bit, but it's still flopping. So I'm not loving that it keeps flopping, and I've already put this on the back to try and weight it down. But because it's annoying me, hopefully that lace on the back won't interfere too much, but I'm thinking of just gluing down the sides here. And so when we have a look, this will be here, and there will be a short page to flip over, and then I'll glue down the sides, and then that will create a tuck there. Okay, so what I thought was I'm going to try it again, and I'll do it at the back of the journal here. So I thought it needs to be further over on this side when I cut it to have the weight of the paper. So I just drew down a ruler, I think it was 3 centimeters from the side, drew a line, and I started to cut, and I thought, oh, I should probably film this for you. So it's too hard for me to get my paper cutter in there. So I'm just doing this with scissors. Okay. And so that piece of paper I'm going to need. And then I've got this wide brown lace. I don't know if there's a wrong or right side to that. So I'm going to glue that down there. So let me just cut off a shorter piece. And let's hope this one works a little bit better than it did on the last one. Okay, so we're just going to glue down a thin bead here of glue. Like that, and then line up the lace, so probably about there, and I'm just going to line up the edge of that band of lace on the edge of the paper. Hopefully I can get that pretty straight. Okay, that's very short, that tuck. So then I will cut off the excess off the top and the bottom. I have to go from this way. My flap's getting in the way. Hang on. Okay, I will neaten that up later. Okay, so see what I mean, how it was flapping and flopping around everywhere. So what I want to do now is add this page in underneath, but I want to cut out this section here. So if I use a pencil and if I cut out, if that goes to the edge, I won't do it right to the edge of the lace there. I want to come in a little bit so that the lace has got something to glue to. So I will do it around here, that mark there. Okay, so using my paper trimmer, I'm just going to trim off that section. Oops, make sure it's straight. And you could ink this side if you want. I'm not going to worry about that. I do ink everything, but I don't think that's an issue to see that. And then that's going to go there, and I just need to do a thin bead of lace along there. Oops. Okay, and then stick that in underneath. Press that lace down. I probably, I want my page to sort of match up to the right. I probably would cut over a bit more. That probably needs a bit more glue space. Make sure that's all flat. So it's still a bit floppy, but it adds some interest where you've got lace in the middle of your page. Okay, so that's there, and I'm just going to neaten this bit off now that I've got the other page to guide me, the other bit of the page. Okay, and so there we have the lace insert. Okay, so that's how you can put them onto a page, and then we could put a pocket or something across here to keep it firm. Actually, there's these side pockets that Carolyn has given us, and so they go over a page. So that one says, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." I love that. That could even start there, go over the page, and then that could hold that there and then create that as a pocket. So I'll have a fiddle around with those as some ideas. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was that I changed my mind. Oh no, I need to show you this one. So these are three pockets, one stacked on top of the other. Now if you have a look, if you look there, that's a duplicate of that image there. So what you want to do is glue down this one first to your page. So decide how high you want it. So if you wanted it there, what you need to do is measure out that image and then draw a pencil line here. Okay, and then glue down 3 sides, and then you've got that as your pocket. Okay, and then when you put this one on top, measure up the picture again. So that's going to be there, I think around about there. Anyway, draw a pencil line, and then once again glue down your 3 sides, and that's your next pocket. And then finally you measure up this one with the image, which is around about there. Actually, there it is. The easiest bit is to look for that leaf there. Okay, and measure that up there, and then glue down your 3 sides on top, and then you've got your 3 stackable pocket. Now to go back to the center page, so I changed my mind on what I was going to do. I thought, oh okay, this has got a curtain. How brilliant is that? So it's got, this was the, you know, the study page underneath. So what I did was I printed this from the Luminously paper, this one here. I printed it the same pattern front and back, and then I cut it in half, but I made sure that I cut about maybe a quarter of an inch each side, but just make sure that it's got some room here. You don't want it to mess up with when it's folding together, so you do need to cut off a slither off either side of the center. Make sure that if you don't print it extended to the length of your paper, you need something to have it as a flap. So if you can't make it, you know, full with no borders, if you've got the white border, don't chop off the white border, because you need something as a flap. So here I was able to cut it down. You just need to measure it to your own page, and so I've just folded it there with about a quarter of an inch there and folded it over, and that gives you your flap. Okay, so that had that paper there. Then what I did was I reprinted this page again, and I cut out the curtain, and then I glued the curtain on top of this floral page. Okay, so that creates a curtain with a sort of garden floral theme, and then when you flip open, you've got your study page, your secret sort of writing on there. Okay, all right, I think that's pretty much all I had to explain with the ephemera. So this time I will go and finish everything off and come back with the flip through. Okay, it's finished. Wow, this has been quite a long one to put together, but it's been so enjoyable. I changed tacks for the cover. So it's still the same cover, but there was a purple butterfly here that I put a bit of glitz on it, and I just decided I didn't like it, and I wanted something a little bit more subdued that went with the beautiful hymn that's on the front. So if you can have a look, I'll just bring it up and hopefully you can see how stunning is this lace that I found. And so it's actually a church. I'm not sure if you can see that, and it was sort of white, so on the back I did ink it, and that's sort of given me more of a cream colour. And then what I've done up the top is I just cut out some lace here. It was a flower there, and then one of Carolyn's embroidered butterflies from one of her embroidery kits. I've just added that on the front. Okay, so let's open it up. So here we go. So what I did was I cut this page again and put a 3D butterfly that's there, and that little one that was on the front, I put that there. And then here, this has got a pocket, and sorry, just checking in frame. So this pocket here, and then what I've done is just printed one of these. This is for the Lumosity. I'm going to get that word tongue-tied, I can just tell. The new kit, Luminosity Royalty, that's the name of it, but I'm going to stick it on the video and it will definitely be in the description box. Just click the more button up the top and then that will pull down the menu. So I printed one of those papers and then that journal, that sort of backing paper on the back, and just folded it into 3. So it's just created a tall writing spot there with the butterfly on the front. And then, as I said, I was going to do the swing tag. So I've just put a butterfly on the page this time, and then just added a bit of glitter glue there. So that's a little surprise that's under the swing tag. And then turn over, and here is this type of pocket, and then I've just put a 2-layered butterfly on the center there, and then these journaling cards, and this one I've added some lace underneath and then that fussy cut on top. That in there. Okay, so changed my mind. I didn't fold it that way because I would have lost the white lace that I had put on, so I folded it back this way, and that looks great. I'm happy with that. So it's just created a long shallow pocket. So these are designed, these were in the kit, and when you cut them they're designed to fold over so that you can have a pocket on one side of the page, like glue it down, you've got a pocket there and you've got a pocket there. So what I decided for here was that I printed it again, and I did reduce it slightly. I didn't do percentage wise, I just sort of did it by look, by eye, and I did reduce it a bit so that it would fit there. And then I've just glued the 2 pieces to a piece of card on the front and the back. And so that's just created that little tuck spot there. And then I didn't mean to do this, have both these pockets here at the side. I wasn't thinking. I tend to like to do one on the front, one in the back, to break them up a bit, but it doesn't matter. So it's that pocket again, just stuck a butterfly there. These butterflies, I've reduced them in size, so they're part of the freebie sheet of butterflies, and then I've reduced them down. And so there's that. And then I decorated this one with just little bits of lace, tried to create like a little garden scene. So there's a little cut of lace, the top of the lace there, and broke it up. Anyway, it was just a bit of fiddling and playing. So that's there. And then here, so this beautiful piece was plain purple, and so I put some lace, if you can see that sort of white lace with mesh, I put that underneath, and then the fussy cut. And then this one, now I have actually embossed them. You can't see that I've embossed it, but I know that when I pull it out I can feel the texture on it, so I just wanted that sort of feel because it's looking like embroidery. So I glued this onto a piece of paper card to make a little journal spot, and then put the little embroidery butterfly on there. And then the same I've done for this one. This is actually a piece of embroidery, a flower, so I've just glued that on top of the image that was there, and then did the same thing. And then here I just sort of messed around with you know, some yellow, green, white lace there, and then just used that one glued down the 2 sides to make a tuck spot. And then here, this sweet envelope is just, I haven't glued it down. Ooh, that felt like that ripped then. Whoops, just be careful when you're doing those. So this really sweet little envelope, and that's just got all the words. So when I do the study, I'll have all the little words that I can stick throughout the journal. So I'll just put that back there. Whoops, goes that way. Okay, and then here, this was the one that I showed you how to make the swing, and so it doesn't have an image there because I've done that as a little dangle, and I've just punched that onto this little journaling folio. Oh, and this, I've just printed this backing paper, and then I wanted something that didn't have a pattern that competed with what was already on the page. So I've just cut around Carolyn's, one of her corner pockets, and I've just cut that shape out and then used that to create my own little pocket. So that's there, you know, that can tuck over the top or underneath. And then here we go, here's this amazing waterfall. This was really easy to make, and I'll put it in the Rose's video for this. She's done such a great job. Thank you so much, Rosa, for doing this. I've always been wanting to do one and didn't know how to do it. So she's done a great video. I'll put the link in the description if I can't for some reason. It is literally one of the latest videos that's up on Carolyn Musing's YouTube channel, which is the one that you're watching right now. And her instructions were fabulous. How good is that? I just love it. So there we go. There's the waterfall. This page, I just, with the freebie with the hummingbird, I've kept that sort of like it's flying, but it's glued down here, obviously, because this is very thin. Here, one of the doilies, I've just glued around the edges here and made a tuck spot. And so these are some of the tags that are in the kit. And I've just sort of done a little, with my circle punch, I cut that out and just added that front and back. And then here we go. I did show you that that's how I was making this curtain for the center of the journal. And then I've just put this little bird, like a little garden scene through the window. And then here I've just made this journaling card into a tuck spot, and then I've hot glued on 2 buttons there, and then used one of the doilies. Now I did reduce this in size so that it would fit, and so that's just using that as a journal spot under there. Okay. And here, this is the 3 stacked pockets, and then it's got the 3 journaling cards that go in there. Another hummingbird is just a fussy cut. I start that one all the way down. Here I've used the doily, and I've cut that again so that we've got a 3D butterfly, and that's a top tuck. And then I've just used one of the journal cards there and just put that little fussy cut justified on there. And then I made this bookmark. So this was the excess card from making the cover, and this was, I think it's from the shades of pink, but it was a leftover piece that I had from one of the other journals that I did. So I just put this fussy cut here, and then 2 of the hummingbirds. Isn't that pretty? And then I reduced the hummingbirds down so that I could fit a whole one, because their sort of wings are cut off here on the front. That's okay. And then did that. And then here, this was one of the circle fussy cuts, and I've actually just punched a hole and then made sure it was in the center of this one. I actually have a circle punch, so I sort of cut it down smaller and then just thread that through as a bit of interest on the back of the bookmark. Okay. And then this is the page that I was showing you. Now, to have some stability in this page, because the lace does tend to like to fold back on itself, I use one of those strips to make a pocket over the page. So this one when you fold it in half, it does actually go well done, they're good. And then if you fold it right in half, it comes back to and faithful servant over the page. Now for it to reach to the edge of the lace, because I wanted to get some stability on this page, I did have to cut this page down, but I thought that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same size. It's good to just add some variance there. Just put the word at this. Oh, now what I've done is I've used 2 of these tags and I've just hinged them together. So all you need to do is, do I have a piece left over? You just get a piece of paper and fold it in half and glue one bit at the back and then the other one on the back here, and that's how you hinge your 2 tags together. And I just put that fussy cut on the top of that one. Okay, and then over the page just added some lace up there and a word as well, because that just sort of covered the bottom of that one. And then I've done the same thing where I've hinged those tags together there. This one here added some lace to the page, and then this has got just this little paper clip is just holding it closed, but I've glued it to the page, and so it's just been, sorry, there we go. So a little fold out and put some sort of like crocheted sort of lace there with a butterfly on top. Okay. And then we're pretty much coming to the end. I cut this out from something, I can't remember, sorry, butterfly there. I've used the fussy cuts to make a little tuck slot there. So just sort of glued around the edges here. And then this one had like a little position where you could put a hole in it. So that's like a little tag in a flower shape. And you can write on the back of that. So that just tucks in there with a sort of like gathering of flowers. And then here is, okay, so this, I was fiddling, having a bit of a play, and I was thinking, can I get this to work? So it is Velcro here. So I've got a strip of paper that folds out like this, and you've got a journaling spot. So this one is Bee Disciples. How cute is this with the bees? So I've just folded it into 4 and rounded the corners. And then the second one from the top is glued down to the page, and I've just sort of made sure that the piece of paper fits into this journal page. So it's glued down on this section, and then I've just folded that up there and then folded this. Now this would just keep flipping open, so that's why I put a little bit of lace, and I've put this fussy cut here and added a Velcro dot there and to the page. But it doesn't interfere the closure, and it just comes down and you can write in it. I'm actually really excited about that. So with it being Bee Disciples, I've added that little fussy cut there, and then I've put the bee behind there and a bee here, and as you saw, I did put those fussy cuts there and there. Oh, this one, I'm sure this one is not from this freebie, but it is from one of Carolyn's freebies that she did, I think early last year. It was like a little bee kit freebie thing. So there we go. And then over here with this pocket, I've just added a bird here from the freebie sheet. And then what have I done? So yes, this comes with the kit, this little folio card. And so because it said Disciple, I had reduced a sheet of those freebies. And so I've reduced that one in size and just sort of popped that on there, Bee Disciples, on the top there, just to keep it all cohesive. And then here we go, we've got to the back, it's notes, more notes and scripture, and this time instead of sticking the butterfly to the page, I've actually stuck it to the acetate. So they're little mini butterflies that I've cut and just stuck that one there. And then here we go, we've come to the back. I've just put a butterfly on there in that little garden page, and here, like I've done with the other ones, I made a little writing board. So it's just a thin writing board with that paper on the back, so it's smooth surface to write on, and then just made a belly band for that to slide in there. So there we go, that's all finished. Now I have got I'm so busy, I have finished those, and so I'm putting them into the Women of the Bible. I'm putting them into a journal. Would you like a little sneak peek? I'll quickly show you it's not finished, but Carolyn gave this to us as a freebie, so I'm actually putting a couple of pages from each one into its own journal. I don't want to show you too much yet, it's not finished, but I have put the pages in. It's going to be a no-sew journal. It's a new technique that we haven't covered here before, so it's a hinge system with this put together, but I haven't done all the ephemera, so I need to do that. Look out for this. This is going to be the next one that's loaded up onto YouTube, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done in the next couple of days. Okay, so there we go. Hope you have enjoyed that. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'd love to hear which one's your favorite out of all of the ones in the series so far. Yeah, we'd love to hear which ones you've liked the best. If you've followed along with the study as well, it's been such a blessing so far with everybody that's been messaging us and just letting us know how you're getting on with it all. So anyway, we'll leave it there. God bless from Carolyn and from myself, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.